Saddleback Memorial Center is an age-friendly health system. Participant joining us with more information and details, we welcome Dr. David C. Law. I'm going to let him tell you about all of his credentials. And Janine Hooper, registered nurse of Saddleback Memorial. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Well, I'll be happy to do that.
Look, tell us all about yourself. You have a long list of credentials. I want to hear all about your accomplishments.
Well, I practiced pulmonary and critical care medicine at Saddleback for about 40 years, retired a few years ago, and at that time I was the medical director of respiratory care for about 20 years, and I was a physician advisor for utilization management as well. Like I said, retired from clinical practice, but I have become involved in age-friendly healthcare with Janine over these last, well, for me, it was the last 6 or 7 years. With Janine, it's about the last, 2 years we've been doing this.
Fantastic. Janine, what got you started in that position?
Yeah, so my background, I'm a registered nurse on the floor, we call floor, and then my original degree was in gerontology. And I've always had a love for older people, and one of the reasons I chose to work at Saddleback Hospital is they are known in the nursing world for having excellence in healthcare for older adults. So it really attracted me to this. And then I just was homegrown at Saddleback, started as a new grad there, and then when they came up with the position of elder life nurse specialist, I jumped at the opportunity.
That was right in alignment with your values.
It really was. So it's really awesome. I get to work in an area where I'm passionate about. And Dr. Law is very humble. He was a big mover and shaker of the age-friendly initiatives. We're actually the first in Orange County to be officially designated as age-friendly.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How did your paths cross, the two of you?
It was pretty simple. As we got more and more into age-friendly healthcare, certain aspects of it became very important to implement. One of them, which we're going to talk about later, is the HELP program, which is a program designed to prevent delirium in older adults. Well, that program needed a director. Mm-hmm. Entree, Janine, and we met, and as we developed the HELP program, she and I became very closely aligned in promoting this program, and we'll be talking about that a little later.
Fantastic, I can't wait to get into it. So, can you tell me what is an age-friendly hospital?
Yeah, so age-friendly is a designation from the Institute of Healthcare Improvement, which is a very large national organization that helps set standards for excellence in care. So by being an age-friendly designated center, it's a way of showing that we are committed to excellence in serving older adults, and we have we meet certain requirements, and we'll go into each of the 4 M's. But it means, yes, perfect. So the 4 M's, what matters, medication, mobility, and mentation. Okay. So the Institute of Healthcare Improvement and the John H. Hartford Foundation, a lot of brilliant minds came together and thought of ways. They took lots of evidence-based practice studies and lots of research, and realized that the older population is a very complex group. A lot of them have comorbidities, like more than one chronic health condition, and people are living longer. Mm-hmm. The largest segment of the fastest growing segment of our population is 85 plus.
Is that right?
Yes, I know, it's pretty amazing to think people are living longer, and people who, my grandpa died of heart disease, and we have ancestors who died of strokes. Well, now people, thank God, medicine is advanced and people are living longer. And so they came up with looking at all these studies and evidence-based, and they distilled it down. How can we best reach patients and older adults who are very complex and have a huge variety of different comorbidities and complex needs, and they're very, very diverse, a very diverse group of patients. How can we distill and simplify their care to maximizing their healthcare and improving their care? And that's where the 4 M's came from.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I would assume that it would be really helpful for the patient also to streamline Because it's got to be really frustrating when you're using as an example of there's so many different things that are going on, right?
Exactly.
And so it can be very confusing,
Yeah.
and it's to try to navigate that, it's got to be completely overwhelming.
Yes.
I would imagine. So alongside being an age-friendly hospital, can you tell us a little bit about Saddleback's Geriatric Emergency Department accreditation?
Yeah, so we're accredited through the American College of Emergency Physicians, and what that means is we meet certain benchmarks in healthcare requirements, and one of the things that we have, and that Dr. Long and I will talk more about, it's in the emergency department as well as our acute care service units, is the hospital elder life program. And though that program is really wonderful, and we are targeting older adults and things that we know will help make their care better. Mm-hmm. And we're starting from the minute they walk through the doors, they are getting care that is tailored toward older adults. I think of so if you had to get a surgery, right, you would want a surgeon who has experience, who's done that surgery, maybe 1,000, 100 times, 1,000 times. Well, our geriatric department is like that for our older patients, right? They've seen so many, with just the volume of older adults and patients, they have so much experience and expertise in caring for the older adults. We have order sets that Dr. Law helped put in place, and Dr. Taub, who's I'm very proud of our emergency department and our nurses. We have a lot of nurses who are geriatric certified, which means that they've taken extra education hours and I help teach a class to some of them. There's a huge desire. We had a class recently and it was overwhelming. We had so many nurses who wanted to sign up for it that we actually had to some of the managers had to say, we got to wait for another class because I can't let you all off at the same time. So the people who work at Saddleback are just generally, like myself, we have a heart for reaching our patients who are older, and we recognize that not all of their needs are the same. That what matters to one person might not be what's as meaningful for the next, for their neighbor. Like one person, they might really want to make sure that they live longer, or another person, they just want to be comfortable. Right. Yeah.
Yes. Wow. Oh my goodness. So why is it important for people to be treated at the age-friendly hospital?
Well, priorities change. What's important to a 50 or 60-year-old, what their goals of care are at that age is different at age 80 or 85. Sure. And traditional medicine doesn't really recognize that. Everybody kind of gets put in one mold and treated the same way. They use the same performance measures, the same algorithms, whether they're 50, 60, 65, or they're 80 or 85. But things change when you're 80 or 85. So age-friendly healthcare recognizes that. Yes. And the whole idea is that the physician and patient become partners. There are priorities that have to be discussed. What was important, you got to keep that blood pressure absolutely spot on at age 50. Well, at age 85, it might not be so important, particularly if you're getting side effects from all the medications that are needed to keep that.
Sure.
So that has to be discussed with the family, with the physician, and changes made in conjunction with what the current trajectory of care is for that patient.
That totally makes sense. I mean, we have pediatricians for children, right?
Right.
It just makes sense.
Exactly.
Okay, well, to wrap it up, you are having an age-friendly lecture coming up. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, sure. So we're having it on November 18th at 5 p.m. in Clubhouse 2. Okay. And it's just going to be a brief half-hour lecture. And it's going to be we want a community event. We're excited to be with our older community.
So all are invited?
All are invited, thank you. Yes, all are invited, and we're just going to be talking more about the 4 M's, medication, mobility, mentation, and what matters, and why it should be important to all of us.
Okay, and if people want more information, they can visit memorialcare.org/Laguna Woods.
Yes.
Enough out of you, Siri. All right, well, what you're doing is absolutely incredible work, and I know that our viewers are just going to be overwhelmed with the amount of love and respect that they're receiving from you.
Thank you.
Dr. David C. Law and Janine Hooper, thank you so much for joining us today. Appreciate it. You're watching This Day on Village TV. Coming up next, Polly's Pies. Stay tuned.